Hello. Are you getting sick and tired of the current state of affairs in the United States right now? Easy question. Are you sick and tired of the current state of affairs in the United States right now? I mean, and not the supply chain, not the effects of war on us, not the food shortages, the price of gas, the price of groceries. I mean, the current state of affairs. Mass shootings. Are you getting sick of them? Enough is enough, correct? You should be concerned. It's, I don't know, it's just gotten way out of control. Let's talk about it. Well, you know, uh, so far this year alone, there have been over 200 mass shootings in the United States. 200. And there's really no clear definition to what a mass shooting is for the most part. I was talking to someone earlier today, and the definition, basically, in a nutshell, is uh, there were some people, there was a gun, someone got shot. Uh, it's, I guess it's better than it used to be, but I mean, the end result is still there are people dying on the streets senselessly, needlessly. And there are all different kinds of modalities, and they're not always a lot of people killed in these shootings. Granted, uh, like I said, there's all different types of shootings. They could be gang related, or they could be, drug related, or it could be, a heated argument at a party, or, something like that. 17 people were killed in Milwaukee after a sporting event. 17. Some of the shootings, there are one person killed, two, three, four, and a lot of people injured and injured seriously. Well, this past weekend on a Saturday in Buffalo, New York, 10 people were killed in a Tops shopping center, a grocery store, essentially, in a predominantly black neighborhood by an 18-year-old white supremacist. Self described. I'm not just saying that because I'm pissed off at this white guy for targeting black people and killing them. He had, not even going to say his name. I'll give you his first name, Peyton. He studied this area and studied the subject ahead of time. Not just the area, but he did recon on the area. He had visited that shopping center back in March and had compiled pages and pages of information on shopper, behavior, the demographics of the store itself. Were there indeed more black people in there? 500 pages was the initial, craziness. Then there was after he visited there, he had written 180 pages detailing out, of course, the demographics, the lay of the land, the store layout, the number of people, number of cashiers, that kind of thing, and, how he was going to pull this off. Well, after he had done the shooting on Saturday and was apprehended, and for the life of me, I don't know how he was apprehended and brought in alive. There's been a lot of people, rumbling around, had he been a black man that had done this, it would have ended a little different. And you know what? I kind of agree. It probably would have ended differently. It always does. However, you don't see a lot of, black men, young or old, committing mass shootings. The statistics aren't there. It just hasn't been happening. These are angry white people for some reason. But in any case, after the fact, they had found online where he had posted what they're calling his manifesto, and I read it. Some people are recommending don't read it unless you got a strong stomach or a strong constitution, as it were. It can be quite confusing. It can be quite upsetting to some people, I would say. And reading it, I can tell you, yeah. Uh, the first couple of pages basically are him patting himself on the back. You know, I'm a good student. I do this, I do that. Very articulate, no question there. Um, then, he goes on to talk about the great replacement theory, which is a theory that's, floating around in the white supremacy ranks, where the premise of the great replacement is that the white race, Europeans, as he states for the most part throughout the paper, Europeans, white people are being replaced through um, basically interbreeding. In his words, being replaced by immigrants and blacks. And that fertility rates are not what they should be, essentially to, further the white race. So, in a nutshell, throughout the paper, what he's wanting to do is kill off the black folks and other people of color too, but mostly he, has targeted black people in his mindset and what he's, the message he's getting across, which is all bullshit. And if you think about when he starts mentioning the fertility rates, and then you move fast forward to the abortion situation going on in the United States right now with Roe v. Wade, you would surmise in his mind that he would definitely be a pro-lifer, thereby ensuring the increased number of white babies being born. He believes that by the year 2050 that the white race will have been replaced. Most of the people in the United States, the Europeans, as he says, will have been replaced, essentially biracial. And goes on to lay out, this manifesto reads like a handbook for, white supremacists to go out and follow his lead, essentially, to follow his lead. It notes all kinds of stuff. Let me pull up just a little bit of it right here. And again, all of this is available online. You can find the manifesto if you so choose to read it. And like I said, if you're going to read it, be prepared. Be prepared. It's well thought out. Not that it makes, any goddamn sense, but he thought about this for a long time, long and hard. And he says that the white nations rapidly, a situation with them, all through immigration. This is ethnic replacement. This is cultural replacement. This is racial replacement. He is something else. And questions and answers. He even had a Q&A written into his manifesto. Why did you decide to carry out the attack? Oh, and this was another thing, too. This was the place in Buffalo was noted in his 180-page previous paper that this was Attack Zone 1. So he had planned on leaving there and doing it again somewhere else. Uh, I mean, what in the actual fuck? He he thought he wasn't going to get caught. To show the replacers that as long as the white man lives, our land will never be theirs and they will never be safe from us. Coming from an 18-year-old punk ass with a gun. How did he get the gun? Well, I'm sure through legal channels. Another reason for us to be sick to death about this. Another reason for all you gun collectors and NRA people and, all you right-wingers out there, and I'm not calling names. You are on the right end of the spectrum. You are NRA supporters. You are the type of person that bitches and moans about having your AR-15. And make no mistake about it, I'm an Army veteran, and I can tell you right now, that is not a hunting rifle. That is not a hunting rifle. And you don't need it. You may want it, and they're really cool to shoot. I used to like shooting them. They're certainly not a hunting rifle. They are an assault style weapon. They're they're not fully auto, but still. And they have that menacing look, so it makes you feel like you got a bigger cock. Who in the hell needs to have one of those things slung over their shoulder to walk into a damn Starbucks? Can you explain that to me? And let me ask you another question. Do you think people's heads would explode if a group of black men walked into a Starbucks with AR-15s slung over their shoulders? My God, they'd have a freaking heart attack. Hey, double standards all the way around. And, if you're a gun collector, okay, I get it. If you're a gun collector, well, then you wouldn't mind paying a gun collector's fee. A license to be a gun collector, which needs to be renewed every 1 or 2 years. We could come up with a date for you. And any person that has a standard gun license is only allowed so many. Only allowed so many. Open carry, concealed weapon, concealed carry, only handguns. Only handguns. And only up to a certain caliber. You want a gun? We'll give you a gun. A sidearm. That's it. Don't be putting that goddamn AR-15 over your shoulder and going into Walmart. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. It's like you little 5 foot tall guys, and I'm not insulting anybody. I'm just saying it's like you little 5 foot tall guys getting a giant Humvee and driving around. It's that penis envy thing. Please, cut out the nonsense. There's better things in this life than a weapon and hating people that aren't of your color. I have people in my family that have adopted black children. My ex-wife was a black Hispanic. My stepdaughter is a black young lady. Beautiful woman. Just got married, actually. My best friend on this planet is a black man. My co-host on the show, Shelton Hall. You people don't know how to get along. That's at the root of the problem. Too many white people just don't know how to fucking get along with people of other colors, other races, other cultures. You need to stop that shit. And we need to start healing. And we need to get sensible gun laws. It's got to be done. People are going to get hurt. And it's not going to get any better. this division, the divide in this country, not just black and white, right and left. Am I a liberal? Damn right. I'm proud of it. But I got to tell you, I'm not super happy with those Democratic leaders in Washington either. The right and the left up there, they need to cut the shit out and stop wasting our money. Spending money needlessly on stupid shit. Taking large salaries the way they do. We need strong Democratic leaders. The vote is coming up. Vote blue. Got to be done. Got to be done. And you people, dig your head out of your ass and start learning how to get along. Get along with people. Like I said at the beginning here, I asked you a question. Are you sick and tired of the state of affairs in the United States? I'm sick and fucking tired of the state of affairs in the United States. I am. You should be screaming. You're so mad. You're sick and tired of it. You should be. Everybody should be. Stop being so stubborn. Turn off those super biased programs you're watching and listening to. Turn them off. Stop gobbling that shit down. You're like a goose on a pate farm, that shit's being force fed to you, and you're just gobbling it up. Stop it. You're not helping yourself, and you're not helping humanity. Rant over, hard stop. Now, coming up in some upcoming episodes, I want to revisit not necessarily Roe v. Wade in its essence, but I'd like to touch on some of the backlash that a lot of the protesters, or not protesters, peaceful demonstrators, and they were, that was just a slip of the tongue. There were demonstrations all over the country this past weekend, the same day as the Buffalo shooter, and they were peacefully demonstrating their desire to have bodily autonomy and the freedom of choice and to preserve Roe v. Wade. It's going to be a tough battle, and I tell you, we could talk about that, forever. But I want to talk about the backlash that some of these people got, from the protests. They were met with some really nasty people. And some of the remarks that I saw on social media, they were, spewing hate, body shaming, name calling. It was just disgraceful. They weren't acting like adults at all. At all. So that's where I'm standing on that. Listen, we all know that this is an amazingly crazy time. Probably one of the most crazy times I've lived through, And in my 61 years, I've not seen it this crazy. It's like, this is what it's like to go to hell in a handbag, right? In the meantime, don't forget, kids, take care of yourselves and each other. Till next time, peace.